gotta admit it.
When that time's right, I'd appreciate a chat. I must confess, the hum of a grav drive makes me feel alive. I don't got many friends, so I figure I gotta level with you. My past keeps showing up. I should get ahead of it before I get behind it. Hell, this is tougher than I thought it was gonna be. Right. When I turned 18, my dad used one of his many connections to get me my first real job. That, plus the magical co-family name, meant I was shipping freight out of Aquila. If there's a way to take the wonder out of space, it was working for that outfit. Every milligram of helium-3 accounted for, timetables down to the second, too busy to ever really appreciate anything. Or even look up. And the pay? Well, it paid for my apartment, but that's about all I can say for it. So, an opportunity comes by from the boss man. He says, run this job, don't ask questions, and there's a bonus. Hell, I was still just a kid. I jumped on it. I knew I wasn't shipping some dried mangoes, but suddenly, God help me, it was fun. Up until then, I tried my best to be the dutiful son. I hated it. But man, I tried. This was a rush. It's a thrill. Lying through my teeth to customs, even that shady delivery guy. It felt like I was finally, truly living. You think? So, more jobs started coming. And everywhere I went, suddenly dangerous people were much better armed. I'd hear about armed conflicts and civilian casualties. Innocent casualties. And I'd pretend that wasn't me. Maybe I wasn't smuggling weapons, maybe I was carrying something else. As long as I never open the boxes, I can keep pretending. Not directly. And I'd tell myself they'd get guns from someone else. But in my heart, I knew blood was on my hands. Soon the boss man's relying on me, and the pay was nice. We also started partying a lot together. Hard. There are whole weeks that are blank. Never had a lick of trouble. Till I did. At the time, I thought I was the bee's knees. But looking back, a lot of it was dumb luck. I swear my damn name got me out of trouble most of the time. Oh, you're a Cole like Solomon? They just waved me through. I had booze enough and drugs enough to never really have to look too hard in the mirror. I knew if I did, I wouldn't like what I saw. Or where it was going. Yeah, but it takes two to tango. To this day, I don't know when I was running that last job. But it was tasty enough, a whole mess of Crimson Fleet jumped me at the rendezvous. Yeah, a sane man would have been scared. But I looked at my pissant trading skiff's dual cannons and shouted, "Oh, this is on!" Yeah, I blew up one of the pirates before they realized that I was out of my gourd. I managed to get them down to 2 left before every system I had was fried. I was done. And that should have been the end. But that's when the Rangers showed up. It just felt right. Like this is what I was meant to be. And I was young, no care in the world. I thought, what, there's only 7 of you? I like those odds. You think? And then, dependable and straight as an arrow, Lillian Hart came on the comm, and well, it's like hearing the voice of an angel. The Rangers took them out, no problem. All that's fuzzy, though. See, I passed out. And when I came to, Lillian was there. Seems the Rangers were impressed with me. Offered me a job. Yeah, by all rights, it should have been a prison cell, but Lillian, she saw something in me. And I took the job. And that's it. All my cards are on the table. Officially, my cargo was destroyed by the fleet. Unofficially, hell yes, she knew. She jettisoned it herself. I don't know why she did it, but she stuck her neck out for me. And after she helped me sober up and put the mess I was back together. Look, I'm guilty as hell of smuggling who knows what. And there are people I dealt with, bad people, that would recognize me. But I swear I did more questionable stuff for the Rangers, under orders, mind you, than I ever did as a smuggler. Well, after I hit bottom, I learned a lot. Fast. But the thing that scares me is Cora. I mean, I gotta tell her someday. Sometimes the way she looks at me, I'm not worthy of that. But to see that look gone... Well, ain't that something to look forward to? Just so you know, all this is why Lillian is something else. And I really need to own that. And have a tough talk with Lillian. Tell her about that follow-through you mentioned. Cora's at an important age right now. Every visit counts. You can't flake on her. Well, for now, let's do something more cheery. Like getting a root canal. It's good to be out and about. Lives get stuffy sometimes. My junk is now, well, your junk. Bye.
And you're certain that's what you saw?
Oh yeah, he was wearing a flannel shirt underneath a trucker jacket.
That doesn't match the description from a functionary. And you said he was running away from the tram?
That's right. Oh, and he was carrying a book, A Tale of Two Cities.
Okay, just hold that thought one moment, sir. I need to speak with the captain.
Sure. There's a reward for this, right? Information leading to the capture?
Sir, just give me a moment with the captain, please. Thanks for taking this case, Captain. I realize your time is limited. Thanks, Captain. To be honest, I'm a little starstruck, but I'll do my best to keep things professional. This was supposed to be a simple case. We got an attempted vandalism, a knocked-over bin, and a witness who called in to ID the suspect. We were about to head down to the well to apprehend the guy when this new witness comes forward with additional info. Just one problem. His story conflicts with the functionaries. Yes, sir. I was the one who took the call and reported it to Sergeant Uni. Normally, we don't give this much weight to tipsters, but when it's a masked official, we tend to take them at their word. Yeah, and then apparently ran off and knocked over a recycling bin. The perp made a bigger mess running away than he did with the spray paint. He said it was some kid from the well. According to him, the vandal ran to the tram, knocked over the bin, and took the net to the spaceport. He also said he recognized the kid's face. ID'd him from security records and everything. Kid's name was, Tahir something. Sorry, Captain, I'm still new to this. I have it written down somewhere. Yeah, and then the perp made a bigger mess running away. Well, we got two witnesses with conflicting stories, so I'd like to go interview Functionary Gershon in person. Their office is at MAST, in the Interstellar Affairs Department. Affirmative. And as the higher-ranking officer, I'll let you take the lead, Captain.
Am I gonna be on SSNN?
Howdy.
Ah, Captain, can I just say, it's a pleasure to meet the hero who stopped the Terramorph invasion. And Officer Markkanen, was it? I see you're here as well. Is there something the matter?
We just need to go over your testimony again.
I apologize, but I can't right now. I have an important meeting I need to attend. But I'd be happy to stop by UC Security later and speak with your sergeant. Thank you for being so accommodating. Your reputation precedes you, Captain. While I must be going, since you're here, I do have something to help you solve this case. I encourage the both of you to check the information on my personal computer. I have written a detailed description of the vandal, one Tahir Vala, a known criminal who resides in the well. It should have everything you need to apprehend the thief. Now, if you'll excuse me. I'm sorry, but I really must be going.
Need to make sure all of those reports are annotated by the end of the day.
Well, Captain, what do you think? Is what the functionary said true? Is this kid from the well our vandal? I trust your instincts, Captain. Gershon said he hangs out at Kay's, right? Let's go down to the well and arrest this perp.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself.
Always nice to
Understand?
see a face around here.
No shortage of hungry
You stop
mouths.
in whenever you'd like.
You need something? Hey, long time no see. Still doing work for the House of Enlightenment? Yeah, I saw that side of bacon with you when you rolled up. Can't believe you're running with the bad guys.
All right, Vala, that's enough. We're bringing you in on a UC 594, vandalizing.
Is this some kind of joke? The hell is she talking about? For what? You can't arrest me. I know my rights.
This isn't a request,
You know
Vala.
why this place
Either
has
you
stood
come
for
with us
so long.
peacefully, or
I
we
make
do
sure
as I
everyone's
force.
comfy.
Your
I
choice.
tell it like it is,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't
that's
take
what
any
you
shit.
kids always say. Your choice. As if I've got one when you got a gun pointed at my face.
I take it that means you're coming peacefully. Good. Don't worry, Captain. I can take it from here. Feel free to report back to Sergeant Yumi and let him know the vandal's been arrested. Given he has priors and pissed off a functionary, he's due for an extended stay in the can. Pleasure was all mine, Captain. All right, Vala. Move. Move it.
Ah, Captain, can I just say, it's a pleasure to meet the hero and Officer Markkanen, was it?
We just need to go over your...
I apologize, but I'd be happy to stop by UC Security. Captain, I will be happy to do so later, but now is a bad time. So unless you're arresting me, I must decline. Besides, I'm not the most eloquent of functionaries. I prefer the written word. I encourage the both of you to check the... I have written it. It should have everything you need.
Okay. Hello.
Howdy. Yes?
Well, Captain, what do you think? Is what the functionary said true? Is this kid from the well our vandal? You sure, Captain? I get we got conflicting testimonies, but the witness at the tram wasn't exactly reliable. If not the kid, then who? What? Really? Do you have proof? If the terminal doesn't have what you need, try checking around his desk. Maybe even go through his trash. Why? Do you not have enough proof as is? Okay, Captain. I trust your instincts above all. And if the functionary's the perp, that means he not only committed the crime, but tried to frame the kid. If I can speak frankly, Captain, that really, really pisses me off. The functionary said he was going to chat with Sergeant Yumi, right? Let's head back to UC Security and see if we can't give him what he deserves.
Hello.
Yes, Captain? It's an honor to work with you, Captain. Yes, sir. I joined after your heroics on the spaceport. If you don't mind me saying so, you're kind of my inspiration. Appreciate it, Captain. I'll try my best not to make it weird. We got our suspect. Let's go put him away.
Captain, there you are. I just finished giving a sworn statement to Sergeant Yumi. Captain, there you are. I just finished giving a sworn statement to Sergeant Yumi.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite part-time security officer. Ah, Captain. Functionary Gershon was just giving me his full statement.
It's mostly repeating the documentation on my computer. I trust that was sufficient enough to make an arrest? Me? Don't be ridiculous, Captain. I witnessed the crime.
Functionary Gershon, you're under arrest for vandalizing the tram and an attempted frame-up. Depending on what you told the sergeant, we can probably add false testimony to the list.
Hold on. First off, these are very serious accusations, Captain. Are you sure you want to go down this road? More importantly, do you have any proof? Interesting. Not exactly the uniform of a functionary, is it? Well, you were right about the pteramorphs. Thankfully, the stakes are lower here. Now, that is pretty damning. Old Earth books are very hard to come by. The odds of this witness naming that exact book and the functionary owning said book, that's a long shot. Unless, of course, he's the perp. Well, I've heard all I needed to hear. Functionary, do you have anything to say for yourself?
If you think I'm going to let you bring up these trumped-up charges...
That's enough. Officer Markkinen, please escort the functionary to the holding area.
I will not
Gladly,
take this
Sergeant.
accusation lying down, of that I can assure you. You can't do this! Your proof is circumstantial at best!
Don't worry, functionary. We're not putting you in jail quite yet. Unlike some people, we respect the rule of law.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer, Sergeant. Expect to be demoted to desk duty by week's end.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Now, that was a shock. Next time, give me some warning before telling me my star witness is the one who committed the crime. Very funny. Maybe for your next job, you ought to apply for a part-time comedian. Anyway, good work on this case. Functionary Gershon may talk tough, but I know his type. It won't take long for him to crack. And hopefully, that means the end of his obsession with the well. And, speaking of endings, I was going to mention this earlier, but I didn't want things to turn all sentimental in the middle of your investigation. With all the new recruits as of late, our staffing problems are no longer an issue. Which means we've exhausted our need for a part-time security officer. Likewise, Captain. We have your position filled, but not your shoes. On behalf of the entire UC Security Department, I wish you the best of luck with the Vanguard and your future missions. And if you ever need to talk or reminisce about the beat, I'll be here. Crime has slowed down since you started. See you later. After that business with the term. See you later, Captain.
Locked in.
You got your cut. Now get out of my face.
You said the take was 10K, but it was 30. Big difference on 40% of 10 versus 30.
You wanted 4K. You got 4K. Not my problem.
If you're stealing from me, you bet your ass it's your problem.
Make a mess in front of my new book.
Hey, steal from me and get caught. Better off dead.
Sounds like you did the fleet a favor. Now toss this body out of an airlock before it turns into a damn air freshener.
Hello, Captain.
The hell took you so long? Forget how to grav jump or something? Please. It'd be one less sloppy rook whose mess I had to clean up. The last thing I need is another Austin rake getting cold feet. You want to leave the fleet? You pay the price. Not in credits, but in blood. I don't care. Time is money, and you've wasted both. That ends today. Clear? But, all that aside, you made it. So now, you get to hear a nifty history lesson. Pencils ready? Good. This floating scrap heap you're standing on is called the Key. Used to be an old UC military star station, and now it's the fleet's base of operations. Might look a little beat up on the outside, but we keep it together. Sure did. Right out from under their noses. Way before you or I were born, though. We've held this station for a very long time. Don't worry. Delgado will tell you all about it. You think? And that's only part of it. I'll let Delgado fill you in on the whole story. He tells it better anyway. But I can give you the short version while we walk the station.
I'm sure the UC is happy with you guys rubbing their nose in their most monumental mistake.
Anyway, I'll tell you all about the Key. But it's better if I show you too. Follow me.
All right.
Hi.
History time.
Please disregard.
So, the Key is in orbit around Suvorov. That's the very same ice ball where the United Colonies built a supermax prison they call the Lock.
The UC is so clever. Supermax prison, lock, key. Cute, huh? Now, we've got everything the fleet needs right here. Of course, you've got to pay for it. Remember, on the Key, credits are king. What the hell is this?
All right, hang on, Nev. Before you get pissed, I've got my hands full.
Jasmine, sweetie, I'm trying to give a tour here. So you want to tell me why those damn doors are sealed?
It's called a malfunction. You know, that thing I spend most of my day dealing with. Believe me, my people are on it. Have a little faith for once.
Aw. And you always, Angel. This here's Jasmine. You need anything for your ship, she's got you covered. We'll hit up the depot next since these doors have given out on us. So anyway, we were talking about the Lock. About 100 years ago, the prisoners down there rioted and took over the place. After stealing some ships, they were actually able to make it up here and took over the Key.
About time you brought us new blood, Neva. I was getting tired of trading with the same old faces.
You're just ticked everyone's getting wise to your ridiculous prices, Aludra. Anyway, welcome to the depot, Rook, where you'll be lucky if these blood-sucking leeches don't bleed you completely dry.
Whoa. It's not our fault that people don't appreciate how much it costs to get untraceable merchandise onto the Key.
Neva's just whining because she thinks she lost a ton of cash selling us a shipment of gear. She should have done her homework.
Yeah, sure, laugh it up. I'll remember that next time I need something from you cheapskates. Let's move on. Back to my story. After the liberated prisoners grabbed the Key, they established it as a base of operations and began pirating the spaceways. That was how the Crimson Fleet began. Of course, Jasper Cricks had a lot to do with all that, but we'll get to him later. Rook, meet Zuri, queen of the rare exports.
If I don't have it, you don't need it.
Neuroamps, blueprints. Hit her up and she'll take care of you.
Speaking of which, you still owe me for that last purchase, Neva. It's like 5 figures. Don't make me collect it the hard way.
The hard way? Oh no. Rook, protect me from Zuri's vengeance. Enough of the bullshit, Zuri. I'll pay you when I pay you. Deal with it. Got a problem with that? Take it up with the boss. On the right, you've got Bradley from the Trade Authority. I'm sure you know the deal there. He'll buy pretty much anything, no matter how hot. Then we got our med bay on the left, run by the one and only Samina Mizra. She'll patch you up, if you've got the money. We don't run any free clinics up in here, you don't? Okay, this is our final stop. Over there, you've got the Last Nova, where Bog serves watered-down drinks at ridiculously exorbitant prices. And right here is the most important place on the entire station, the Reckoner's Core, run by the incomparable Shinya Voss.
Another new Rook, Neva? I can't believe Delgado still lets you recruit given what happened with the last one.
You mean Austin Rape? It's been taken care of, all right? I don't like loose ends, and this Rook is the one who tied it off.
Perhaps next time you'll try to be a bit more discerning regarding your choices. It's far more cost-effective.
Yeah, love you too, darling. Anyway, Shinya handles our lifeblood. The money. We call him our Reckoner, but if you ask me, he's actually a pain in the ass.
And Neva will slit your throat if she thinks you'll bleed creds.
Go to hell, boss. Take care of our new friend here, or I'll find a way to pull the pin on that little party popper in your chest. Anyway, Shinya will get you set up in our system. I've got real work to do. Once you're done, head upstairs and I'll introduce you to the boss.
Time for a proper introduction. I am Shinya Voss, the official reckoner for the Crimson Fleet. And since Neva so thoughtfully mentioned it, yes, this is a bomb embedded in my chest. And no, I'll never know the meaning of the word humble. In fact, I find Delgado's idea of a security measure to be quite empowering. I see the bomb as a symbol of my importance, and it's a constant reminder to everyone of the sacrifice I was willing to make. The freedom I've given up, the pain, it's not something that just anyone has the resolve to bear.
Wow, now I want to get my very own bomb. Because that's not absolutely insane.
Glad you approve. Obviously, betrayal isn't taken lightly around here. Since I oversee the bulk of transactions and maintain all accounts for the fleet, I'm a prime target for information. Should our enemies capture me or I grew any semblance of a moral conscience, you might consider me the greatest threat we have. For Delgado, the bomb grants peace of mind and a certain degree of safety. Essentially, but I sleep soundly knowing I'm one of the few that can piss Delgado off and live. Should I die, all of my knowledge, the accounts, the credits, it would be a mess. He wouldn't dare. He holds the trigger, but we all know that my death cripples the fleet. Call the bomb a weapon of last resort. It's why he's the boss. Of course. I'm not the first reckoner to bear a bomb under my rib cage, but Delgado was smart enough to continue the tradition. Now, let me get you set up. A moment while I convene with the core. Thanks to advanced modifications even Eugen would envy, I can interface directly with our mainframe and the Galbank network. This allows me to move and clean credits faster and more efficiently than any run-of-the-mill cyber runner. There, you're done. All you need now is Delgado's blessing, and you'll be one of us. None. Other than my chest and arm modifications, I am but a simple man. Is the interview over now? Can we get back to work? The perfect segue into my final subject. Thanks to our relations with contacts across the galaxy, we always have a steady stream of jobs available. I've granted you all the necessary permissions to access these listings at any time, using the computers that surround the core. Oh, you know, smuggling, piracy, taking things that aren't yours. Nothing that should keep you up at night. Well, depending on your methods. If Neva's chosen wisely, we certainly will. Now, I believe that covers all I have to say, so you can run along to Delgado. Take the elevator to the upper level. You should be able to find your way from there, I hope.
All right, listen up. You can all stop complaining. Atrium to cargo bay doors have been repaired. Oh, and you're welcome, Nev.
Need a drink? Bog at the Last Nova will be more fleet before everything.
I like my weapons like I like my coffee. Scalding.
Got some health issues you need help with? First time visiting the infirmary, huh? Let me give you a piece of advice. Try not to get into too many bar fights. I'm trying to save my dwindling supplies for sale and pirates coming in off of raids. I've done my time, but thanks to a malpractice suit, I've officially dropped the doctor title. Don't let that worry you. I'm still just as good, if not better, than half the surgeons at the clinic. That's what they all say, until they stumble in bleeding out on my floor. So here's what's what. You need medpacks, curatives, preventatives, I've got you covered. At least as long as my current supply holds out. You need enhancers, legal or illegal? I've got those too. In the fleet, someone has to do it, so it may as well be me. This way, I've got a good idea of who's on what and how much. If they come in for any real medical treatment, I know exactly what I'm dealing with. Hopefully, that won't be often. Now, if you don't need anything else, I've got a particularly annoying supply issue to deal with. Well, let's see what we're dealing with. You pick a fight with a Terramore? Let's get everything back into place. All patched up. Medical, recreational. Now there's an offer I didn't expect. If you really want to help, I'm looking for someone who can handle themselves in a public setting. As in someone who knows how to get the job done without shooting up the place. That's not going to help. That ship was full of things like cots, flu shots, and children's vitamins. And I can't exactly plug a bullet wound with an Ashta chewable. Well, you'd be one of the first. I politely requested a list of supplies from Gennady Aton at the clinic and was told the price of business has gone up. I think he's back on Aurora, and he's upcharging me to pay for it. And if there's one thing I'm not going to do is subsidize his habit. I want you to make sure he delivers my supplies for the price we agreed on, but without raising any alarms. Oh, we will. But this way, I'm guaranteed the highest quality supplies from one of the best medical facilities in the settled systems. Plus, if Gennady does what he's supposed to do, he'll cover our tracks. We'll see. Talk is one thing, actions are another. Oh yeah, the funny thing is, he's the poster boy for upstanding moral citizens. Top of the class at nursing school, did volunteer work in backwater settlements, a reputation you could eat your food off of. Nobody knows he did it all zoned out of his mind. Nobody except his old boss, me. He said he got clean when he joined the clinic, but now I wonder. A bullshit one, yeah? Gennady claims prices have gone up for the clinic as a whole, and that I'm not the only doc being hit. He says if I want cheaper goods, I'm going to have to find another supplier. He even gave me a list. But I'm not turning to some third-rate doc selling meds out of their space truck. Gennady and I had a deal, and I want him to honor it. You'd think most of the injuries I treat are from run-ins with security or civilians taking a stand. But I'd say at least half are just life on the key. Brawls, egos, and plain old stupidity. At least it keeps me busy. Be careful. I don't have endless supplies, you know.
So there I am. UC security on my tail, and my grav drive just chokes. And you know what I find back there? The fattest leech I've ever seen. Worm nearly got me dusted.
In the fleet, you either put up, shut up, or die. Your choice. What are you looking at? As long as you... What now, Rook?
If you need credits, hit up the mission boards at the core. The fleet protects our own. But you turn against us, and you're dead.
Bugs, some people drink coffee to wake up. Me? I have bug pour me a shot of whiskey and never go to sleep.
If I had a Birian crest, I'd run my own city, like they do. Except in my town, you could do Aurora anywhere. Need something?
I need another drink.
Hey, Cap, you hiring? Got some baddies on my tail, and I need a place to lay low.
Seems to me, instead of trawling deep...
I'm a smuggler. Making enemies comes with a job. This time, I got in over my head and made one who's more dangerous than me. Hard to believe what passes for polite.
First of all, the creds you spend here go to the fleet, not to me. Second, if I really bums lay a finger on those creds, I have Delgato's express permission to blow your heads off and serve the consummate sushi. Your drink, in there.
turn against us, you're dead. The fleet is family. Stealing from each other is just what you call
Hey, my
a
fellow
professional
rook.
courtesy.
How's it going?
What little man can get off my ass and do a job? Maybe next.
Yeah?
But first, another drink.
I was wondering when you'd wander my way. The name's Fergus Wickham, but you can call me Bog. Welcome to the last Nova, where the drinks are never free. Got it back in my experimental days. Before we fixed up Nova, she was a real boggy mess. Practically an indoor swamp. I figured some of what's growing around here could make some decent booze. Well, some might say I only got the booze part right. Guilty? You name it, I got it. Although, I can't speak to quality. We don't believe in expiration dates here as long as it gets the job done. As long as you're buying, stay as long as you like. The last Nova never sleeps, so no last call here. Since it's your first time with us, I'm willing to make an exception to the rule and offer you my speciality on the house. 1 free bottle of Bog's Grog. Well, can't complain, right? And if you like it, you're in luck. Cheapest drink you can find, and guaranteed to drown those sorrows. Nova wasn't always the lovely sight you see before you. She used to be a hydro farm and put up quite a fight when we decided to give her a makeover. Overgrown water everywhere. Almost gave up. But what's a proper home without a pub, eh? See for yourself. Now that's a trade secret, mate. And a homegrown one at that. But nothing to worry about. I've been serving it up going on 20 years now. Only things that kill my customers are bullets and stupidity. Next time you need a pint, come and find me.
If this works out, I'll have a reliable source of quality medicine.
Always listen to Delgado. Unless you want to get keelhauled across the key.
I hope you've brought me something interesting.
I used to work for a megacorp. Wore a monkey suit and everything. Seems like a different time. Sharks are too scared to take the key. Because it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
You have something for me? What'll it be, friend? Buying, selling? The Trade Authority takes anything and everything. A well-kept appearance gives the impression of a respectable establishment. The more respectable the place, the more credits people are willing to pay. Yeah, like you don't know. Oh, you really don't know, do you? To the public, we promote free trade throughout the galaxy. You see, Freestar Independent, doesn't matter. To you and your friends here, same rules still apply. We buy and sell any goods, no questions asked. The fleet's got an impressive commerce system. They even managed a legitimate doctor among their ranks. Business on the Key is like no other. It's the sole reason I'm here. For the credits. I'd say it's been about 10 years now since the Trade Authority assigned me this post. It felt a little extreme at the time, but I can see why they figured it was a good fit. It's the mutual benefit. The Trade Authority buys any goods of value. We don't care how you got it, only that we can profit from it. It's the fastest way to turn your hard-earned loot into legitimate credits, ready to spend. So, naturally, it made sense to establish a presence here. Why risk flying into New Atlantis or Aquila City when you can just do business here? Not everyone thinks so. I'm still Trade Authority, not a part of the fleet. There are a few, Neva included, that see me as an outsider. Regardless, as long as the fleet has goods to push, the Trade Authority will always maintain a presence on the Key. Let's just say I've done my fair share of questionable activities in the past. With the credits I amassed, I gave the Trade Authority a sizable donation in exchange for a clean slate and a stable job. So, here I am, at your service. I left a similar lifestyle behind when I joined the Trade Authority, and never looked back. A lot of the rooks here see freedom in lawlessness, but that's only if you don't get caught. True freedom is not having a bounty on your head, with every cop and mercenary out to get you. I was hoping you'd say that. Remember, halt. Trades are restriction-free. Let's see what we have now. I hope you're not long. Business it is. You find anything about you first.
Always ask for a bigger cut. It's all about making those credits.
See anything you like? I hope you came with credits. I sell a little bit of everything, but only if it's hard to find, and only for a high price. Neuroamps, a few unique resources, maybe a specialized weapon or two. Anything that's rare and in high demand. I was raised fleet. My mama joined up when I was 12. She was a first-class smuggler. We'd always lived comfortably, but she took the offer to join when a job almost went south. She figured if anything ever happened to her, it'd guarantee I'd still have a home. Hell no. The two things I don't want in this life? A real boss and customers that I can't shoot in the face if they piss me off. Del lets me do what I want to here, as long as he knows I'm loyal to the fleet. I sell what I want, I work when I want, I do what I want. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been non-stop. Even as a kid, I was helping distract security in those smuggling days. It's amazing how just having a child aboard, especially one as cute as I was, can throw off the scent. Between my mama and the fleet, I can talk my way out of anything, and use or fix any weapon and ship in the galaxy. Real-life skills, if you know what I mean. Hey, I'm always ready to take credits off your hands. Always a pleasure.
Every time I see Redley
Looking to
smile,
make a
I want
deal?
to punch him in the
Always
face.
looking. Your credits are always good at the Trade Authority.
I heard Isla's sister is some hardcore mercenary. I wouldn't get on her bad side.
Malt grog is fine if you like cheap moonshine. Give me an Erdebrow lager and I'm good.
me with those logs.
So, tell us about Jasper Crix's version of the Crimson Scar.
All I can tell you is that under my guidance, the Crimson Scar became more influential than every other syndicate combined. Here I was, 22 years old, and I had power, people that followed my orders, and an endless stream of credits. Gale, I have to tell you, I was having the time of my life.
So you'd consider extortion, robbery, burglary, kidnapping, assault, and murder to be positive life influences?
No. I'd consider them as just means to an end. Those so-called crimes were merely stepping stones until I had enough wealth to buy the Crimson Scar a few spacecraft.
Yes, let's talk about that. It appears you weren't satisfied with terrorizing New Atlantis alone.
Oh, I've never stopped reaching, Gale. The amount of money we were making in New Atlantis was decent, but the really big scores were in space and the cargo ships. We're talking millions of credits, maybe more. Who the hell could count it all?
Most people assume this is when the UC decided to actively set up a task force to pursue the Crimson Scar.
That's correct. Those idiots in charge of the United Colonies were clearly embarrassed that they had allowed the Crimson Scar to make the jump into space. They sent ships after us. Lots of ships. I almost think that they enjoy starting wars.
Perhaps this was the first time you had finally reached too far.
You could say that. I count my time running the Crimson Scar as a learning experience. I wouldn't say I reached too far. I'd say I reached too fast. Didn't cover all my bases. Made some stupid mistakes. One thing's for certain, though. When I was finally arrested and thrown into the lock, I had plenty to think about.
Price is too high when it comes to protection, right?
Kinetics, electromags, energy weapons. Nothing's a substitute for shotgun
Protective gear can make all the difference. Tactical gear is my specialty. Don't leave the key without it. Well, only the best tactical gear to protect your ass this side of the galaxy. Metal plated for when you're up against bullets. Leather for those jobs that might require a subtle touch. All made by yours truly, of course, except for a few used odds and ends that no one's gonna miss. What, me? Nah, not anymore. When it comes to aim, there ain't no one worse. True facts. I mean, my friends like to say I'd have better luck talking someone to death than shooting them. Yep, my talents are best suited for making protective gear. Helmets, vests, suits. You could say I'm a tailor, not a fighter. I'm here if you need me.
Need to have Jazz look at my graph drive. I swear it's not jumping to the right place.
Smuggling beats a real job any day. We call UCC staff sharks, but to the fleet, they're just bait.
They'd have to catch us first. Asking too many missions, not enough time.
Hey, champ. I'm including this month's list of parts I need for the key. Don't bust a gut. It's hefty, but I know you can handle it. I'm gonna need a lot more than usual this time. I'm planning to overhaul the entire electrical system before it completely shorts out. Oh yeah, thanks for sending over the key's reactor specs. I can't tell you exactly why I needed those. Dell said to keep it hush-hush. As far as next month's shipment, start scrounging up some parts so I can spruce up our defensive batteries. They're looking kind of rusty. Well, I guess that's it for now. I'll have my people in New Atlantis drop off the payment at the spaceport. Just make sure you aren't being followed. We wouldn't want the UC to know they're providing replacement parts to the Crimson Fleet.
We may not have official security on the key.
Anything ship-related, you're at the right place. So, looks like we got ourselves a new rook. Once again, I'm Jazz, resident engineer here. Like Neva said, you need ship parts, repairs? I'll hook you up. As long as your credits are good. Neva's the only one who calls me that, amongst other things. To you and everyone else, it's just plain old Jazz. Neva's mine, so don't be getting any ideas. She may be a little rough around the edges, but she's just looking out for her own. There's no one better to have your back. It may not be wider, but it's not on the books, if that's what you're getting at. I can guarantee your ship will be in good hands. So if you're looking for an upgrade, let me know. We got the best selection in the settled systems. Illegal, unregistered, recalled. We sell it all. No questions asked. No. You buy from me, you're worry-free. I can't have my customers getting caught now, can I? That's bad for business. Anything that keeps the UC and Freestar Rangers off your tail is a must-have in my book. Just let me know when you want to talk business. Serious enough that you don't have a chance in hell? Neva's got a fire in her. The kind you only see in an engine pushed to its limit. She doesn't half-ass a damn thing, and I love her for it. Truth is, the fleet rescued me. Of course, I wouldn't have needed rescuing if they hadn't blown up the ship I was working on. Delgado plucked me out of space and brought me to the key. I took one look at the place and was compelled to work. Soon after, he offered me a permanent spot with the fleet. All business and no fun, huh? What do you need? Shop's always open as long as your money's good. If you want to stay under the... Sure. I'd love to take your money, but... Sounds like fun.
Are you looking to start something? Because I'll finish it. Never do a job unprepared. You need supplies, you hit up the depot.
Bog's grog is fine if you like cheap moonshine. Give me an Erdebrow lager and I'm good.
Still, I have nightmares about that job in Cheyenne. It was worth every credit.
Weapons for all occasions. Well, well. Neva's new hotshot. I knew you'd find your way back to my little corner of the key. Everyone always does. Take a look around, genius. And don't tell me you've never laid eyes on a gun before. But just in case I need to spell it out for you, the merch I carry is known as weapons and ammunition. Get it? Hey, if you want to pour credits into my pocket, you won't hear any arguments from me. I carry most of the standard hardware. You know, kinetics, electromags, energy, even a few explosives. Occasionally, I stock a few smuggled items. Basically the stuff SysDev doesn't want you to play with. Just don't screw me over or I'll be inclined to give you a free demo. With your head as the target. Oh, we all have trust issues here. A little advice, Sadiqi? The fleet's trust can't be bought. You earn it. You bleed for the fleet bleeds for you. Pure and simple. Anyone who says otherwise is either lying or getting ready to stab you in the back. Well, that was surprisingly easy. Most people just glaze over and learn the hard way. Maybe there's more to you than I thought. Whatever you need, as long as you can afford it. Weapons of all shapes and sizes to handle jobs large and small. Ammo too, of course. I'd argue Bog's got me beat as far as customer base goes. But when it comes to profit, I am on top. A good gun's what makes all the difference out there sometimes. And for some, it's the only thing they'll ever trust. Need more weapons or ammo? Come see me. Looking to make quick work of your enemies? I've got what you need. Take your pick. Done here? Fine by me. Something? These materials don't sell themselves.
The captain's here.
I don't need to hear about your latest project.
Suddenly
I
not
just sell
from
the
the
materials. Fine. Not like I have anything better to do. I don't do small talk. You want to do business? We'll do business. You want to chat? Go see Bog. It's a general store, which means I sell general goods. Mostly junk that no one else wants to carry. Raw materials, blueprints, spare parts. Fascinating, I know. We're done here? Great.
Sharks are too scared to take the key. Because it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Buy from me, you can look good and protect your ass at the same time. It's a twofer.
Yeah? I've got bounties in every system. Idiots will never catch me.
If you need credit, every captain here's earned their stripes.
The fleet protects our own. But you turn against us, and you're dead.
Need to have Aludra take a look at this kinetic. Recoil's off.
Some missions require stealing from settlements. Piracy missions are always a healthy source of income. Vary. You'll get a location with the target goods. We don't care how you get it, as long as you deliver. You get caught, that's on you. I'm constantly scanning for valuable shipments. You'll be given a target ship transport in the system to track them down. Just be sure you have the cargo space to get the goods. We have contacts throughout the settled systems that require shipments of illegal goods. Smuggling requires a bit of subterfuge since we'll be loading up your ship with contraband. If you want to make that delivery without getting caught, you'll need shielded cargo space to accommodate the goods. You don't know? Well, you're about to enter a whole new world. Shielded cargo space is a fleet specialty. It's made to fool the UC and Freestar Ranger scanners that are used to detect contraband. Speak to Jazz about that. She'll be more than happy to set you up. Good, because I do hate repeating myself. Be seeing you.
Nothing like the smell of a dead shark after you cook him with an energy blast.
That last job didn't pan out. I need something bigger.
I could really bend your ear when you got a moment.
Where did your stellar rise to infamy begin?
In the streets of New Atlantis. No parents, no godparents. Just a homeless punk kid robbing whoever he could for the credits.
Were these violent crimes? Murders?
I'm a bit offended you even asked that question, Gale. Sure, a few people here and there walked away with injuries, but I'm not some kind of butcher.
That doesn't sound as heartless as your reputation would imply.
Well, like I said, I was just a kid.
Were you ever caught by the authorities in New Atlantis?
Oh, dozens of times. I'd just give them a fake name, or they just slap me on the wrist and send me on my way. They obviously didn't think that I'd amount to anything, and didn't want to waste their time with rehabilitation.
What changed that? Was it the robbery in 2218?
2218? Oh, yeah. Galbank archives. Very good, Gale. See, you've done your research. That would be when I rounded up a few of my buddies and we knocked the place over. Made off with a ton of credits. My first big score.
Is that why the Crimson Scar decided to bring you into their ranks?
That's right. They brought me in, taught me the ropes, and I did crimes for them for 5 years. Till I decided I wanted more. I got rid of their leader, put myself in his place, and started running the show. I've been the one in charge ever since.
Was it absolutely necessary to cut his throat and leave the body on a public street in the well?
On the street, reputation is everything. I wanted everyone in the city to know that Jasper Cricks was taking over. I think they got the message.
What kind of name is Sys-Def anyway?
Stealing from your own isn't tolerated. That being said, it happens all the time. But so do the consequences.
Got mixed feelings about my last job. And lost the fight.
TK says John was bulletproof. I've got a broken rib that says
I
otherwise.
probably feel better.
Certainly. Let's talk about something else. How did the Crimson Scar become the Crimson Fleet?
After I busted out of the lock, I decided to take things to the next level. I had the key, a few UC ships, and a couple dozen ex-cons at my side. But I needed more, so I sent out the call. Once word got around, it didn't take long for freelance pirates from every corner of the settled systems to show up.
And this is how the Crimson Fleet was born.
Exactly. The key became our base of operations. We spent months reinforcing our position there, making it nearly impossible to approach.
What was the UC's response to the situation?
First of all, UC Security gave up and handed the reins over to the big guns, the UC Navy. The Navy in turn sent ships to attack the Key. I'd say there have been 3 major attacks over the last few years. And as you can tell by the fact we're having this interview, all the attacks were embarrassing failures.
Do you feel these embarrassing failures led them to form UC Systems?
Absolutely. They've clearly given up and decided to shove the responsibility onto a separate division. That way, in the public eye, the UC Navy can move forward, proud and strong, while UC SysDef continually takes all for them, Gale. That's how the UC operates. Kinda disgusting, don't you think?
Sounds a bit like you're trying to deflect attention off the atrocities the Crimson Fleet commits on a daily basis.
Atrocities, huh? How about fighting the Freestar Collective over a bunch of rocks hanging in space? How about thousands of people dying while a bunch of pencil-pushing bastards sit in a cushy office and draw lines on a star map? Maybe the United Colonies should stop the bullshit and take a hard look in the mirror to see who the monsters really are.
The fleet is family. Stealing from each other is what you call professional courtesy.
Whether it's mods from Jazz or
Always ask for a bigger cut. It's all about those credits. I used to work for more monkey
I need to get off my ass and do a job. Maybe a heist. Hell, maybe both. First, another drink. I don't trust shielding. I got secret compartments on my ship just in case.
Smuggling needs a real job any day.
Something I can get for you. Well, you look like you could use. We'll see you next time.
You got time for a quick chat? I'd appreciate it.
Smuggling, stealing, pirating. There's a lot of ways to earn some scratch and a rep.
Shot a few bullseyes on the wrench today.
If you need credits, hit up the mission boards at the core.
Ask a jazz about any ship upgrades. Nothing worse than a pirate ship with no personality.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gail Dunnigan of SSNN, and this is Galactalk. My guest tonight is one of the most notorious criminals in the settled systems. His ruthlessness and desire for wealth has landed him squarely at the top of the wanted list for every major law enforcement agency in the galaxy. I am, of course, speaking of the self-appointed leader of the Crimson Fleet himself, Jasper Crix. Good evening, Mr. Crix.
Good evening, Gail. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Yes, well, being blindfolded and then Grav jumped to what appears to be an abandoned mining facility isn't exactly what I'd call an invitation.
Well, I'm sure you're not surprised that your request for an interview would come with some very specific conditions.
Frankly, I was a bit surprised to receive any type of response at all. Would you mind telling me why you decided to do this interview?
Because there comes a time in every pirate's life where they have to make an extremely important decision. Do they take a leap and become one of the most legendary pirates in history? Or do they simply sputter on, subsisting on freighters and deep space privateers?
So are we to assume that you are taking the leap? That Jasper Crix is moving on to bigger and better things in his life?
That's spot on, Gail. That's exactly why you're here.
Interesting. Well then, would you mind sharing with us exactly what your particular leap entails?
In due time. There's no rush. In fact, I'd say we have at least 12 hours before the authorities trace this broadcast. Plenty of time to discuss whatever you like.
Oh, all right then. Perhaps the best place to start this interview would be at the beginning of your career.
Please, proceed.
Are you looking to start something? 'Cause I'll finish it. forces. The fleet protects our own. But you turn against us, and you're dead.
Good day, Captain.
What are you looking at?
Thanks, Captain.